Ashes of Creation is a massively online multiplayer game currently in development, and I've been looking forward to this game ever since I first heard about it over a year ago, probably closer to 2 at this point. I actually played a lot of Archetypes back in the day, and it was widely known in the Archetypes discords that Steven was planning to make his own game, before he even had a name for it, or at least before the name Ashes of Creation became public. So about a week ago, the NDA was officially dropped for alpha testing for Ashes of Creation, and we are now headed into a 1 month long alpha testing period, where we can test the game for issues, play the game, and give feedback to Intrepid Studios, to ultimately help them develop the game and have it polished before official release. Before we get further into the video, it is important to understand that this is a developmental alpha and not a content alpha, or a marketing alpha. So what a lot of games do is they use alphas or betas as publishing or marketing tools to promote their games a couple of months before release, but as you're watching this footage, I think it's important for you to know that this game is still in early development. This is the first non-NDA developmental alpha, and this is Alpha 1. There's an Alpha 2 planned for the future, as well as a Beta 1 and Beta 2 as well, so this game ain't coming out anytime soon. So with that said, what do I think about the game so far? Well, I played the game for the last 3 days, and I already have over 20 hours played in the game, and I've enjoyed every single minute. The world is massive. I think the world we have access to right now is huge, and apparently this is just about 10 to 20% of the entire world that will be available at launch. Speaking of the world, it is absolutely beautiful. The first biomes you see is so stunningly amazing. You will see different types of environment from the start of the game. You will see regular forest, snowy mountains, enchanted mushroom forests, deserts, and you will most likely encounter all of these within the first hour of actually playing the game. Questing seems either unfinished or non-linear, as you will get a level 1 quest, level 6 quest, and level 15 quest from the same NPC at the same time, and some of your level 5 quests will require you to walk to the next continent, and if you only want to level up by questing, you will have to go back and forth a lot and look for questing NPCs, as well as questing encampments. Basically, it's a non-linear quest line where you have quest camp A that you finish from level 1 to level 3, then at level 3 you go to the next camp, but it's more like you got some quests all over the place, and it's up to you to find them. No matter if they go for the linear questing or non-linear questing, I have faith that it will be fun either way, because linear questing makes it easier, while non-linear questing makes the world feel more open. Even though we only have 3 classes available on the alpha right now, I want to talk a little bit about the class system as a whole, as this is something amazing that I think a lot of players really like, and it's something not a lot of MMOs have anymore, and that is a lot of different class choices. So pretty much you have 8 primary archetypes, and you also have secondary archetypes. The archetypes are Mage, Summoner, Cleric, Bard, Fighter, Tank, Ranger, and Rogue. Sometime throughout playing the game you will be able to apply a secondary archetype, which ultimately decides your final class. For example, if you're a mage as your primary archetype, and you also choose a mage as your secondary archetype, then your class will be an Archwizard. If your primary archetype is a mage and you choose a rogue as your secondary archetype, you will be a Shadowcaster. This 8x8 archetype system means there will be a total of 64 classes in Ashes of Creation, which allows for the exact type of gameplay that you think you will enjoy. As for talents, right now on the alpha you can also reset your talents on the fly, allowing you to mix and match talents based on current scenarios, without having to go to a class trainer or to a main city just to respec. I have huge expectations and hopes for Ashes of Creation, and I think it's fair to say that this alpha has actually just increased my hopes and my belief in the Intrepid team. I didn't expect too much from the alpha itself, since it is a developmental alpha, and is Alpha 1, but the game is genuinely so good even right now, and they have improved on so many things already, that I think this will be an absolute beast when it's in its final form. The combat feels great, the movements feel great, the animations are fantastic and on point, you have creative and unique abilities, you have your standard fireball and AoE abilities as well, you have a blink ability that I think has a fantastic animation to it, and as a mage you can use your wand for more damage, and even the wand animation looks great in my opinion. In general, there's a lot more flashiness and lights and fires and effects in general than other MMORPGs that I've played so far, and I think it looks great. The mounts actually have incredible graphics, which I didn't expect at all, since this is Alpha 1, and they have said they are focusing on combat, animations, movements, and core systems, but the mount movements are fairly decent, and the graphics are absolutely insane if you ask me, and I would play this game all day just to look at this fiery fox. I don't know why, but I just love how it looks. The way the world is and the way the quests are set up is giving me major classic WoW vibes in a more modern style, if that makes sense. For example, at level 8 you will get a quest to kill a difficult to kill elite mob, and we had to kill it in a party of 6 people, and even then it was quite difficult. So you get a sense of teamwork and you have to cooperate with each other. You will also get a quest to kill a level 15 elite dragon quite early on as well, which we did right here, with around 24 people or something. So there's multiple of these quests that you will encounter quite early on, where you will need either a good party, or in some cases an actual raid, in order to complete the quest, which brings back that feeling of needing to cooperate with other people, even while leveling, in order to complete quest objectives. All of this being said, it is also still obvious that this is in Alpha 1. A couple of times I fell through the floor and fell through the entire map, and ended up in the middle of the ocean, under the actual ocean, and I had to swim through an invisible wall to get myself back up, which caused a bit of laughter and panic. You will also notice some quests being bugged every now and then, some NPCs not respawning, and there was also a dumb bug where if you swam in any type of water with your mount, you would have to relog in order to use any spells. Otherwise you would get an error message saying you can't use this spell while swimming, even if you were no longer swimming. And that bug would last for hours if you didn't actually just relog. Every now and then there will also be some server crashes, FPS drops, and other things that are to be expected in a testing environment, but generally speaking it's been overwhelmingly amazing, and it's been running a lot more smoothly than I was expecting. And since this is my first Ashes of Creation video on this channel, I guess I will add a little summary of exactly what the game is at the end here, in case you are considering playing it. So Ashes of Creation is a MMORPG currently in development, and it looks to be a risk versus reward open world MMORPG with both PvP and PvE elements to it. There will be open world PvP kind of enabled, you can flag up for PvP at any time, you have a node system which allows players to contribute to how the world is going to look, and will make the world feel more alive. You have open world dungeons, at least most of them are looking like they will be open world, which means you will have to fight over the resources and loot, and it also means there will be a lot less abuse of instanced loot as well, because there will be either less of it or none of it. With open world PvP enabled, you can also ensure the game will be less exposed to botting, because if you see a bot in the open world and he is gathering stuff, you can straight up kill him, and because of the death penalty, you can also actually steal his loot. The way the death penalty works right now in Alpha is that upon death you drop roughly 10 to 15% of what you have in your inventory, and this can be picked up by anyone who finds it, meaning that if you carry something valuable, you will want to get back to town and either store it or sell it as quick as possible. This is where the risk versus reward comes into play, and because there's pretty much a certain constant risk, the reward also feels so much better. The world itself is a dangerous place, and sometimes you might die to mobs, and even then you will drop some of your loot, so you'll want to try to stay alive as much as possible, and if you die you kind of have that feeling of wanting to rush back to your corpse to get your loot. There's also going to be player housing, you have apartments and houses, all purchasable once a node reaches a certain level. The game is definitely not going to be a WoW killer as it appeals to a whole different audience, but if world PvP, housing, or player housing, a risk versus reward environment, and more of an open world MMORPG with absolutely fantastic graphics sounds like something you would want to play, then I would definitely recommend Ashes of Creation. In this case, I also have a referral code and a referral link, which I'll link in the description as well as a pinned comment, and if you sign up with that link, I will get a kickback whenever you purchase something on the Ashes of Creation website. You can purchase different pre-order packs for early access to either Alpha 1, Alpha 2, Beta 1 or Beta 2, plus some in-game items. That being said, if you only want the game itself, I would not buy anything right now, as both the alphas and probably betas are meant for development and not for content, but you can still sign up with the link so you got your account ready to go whenever the actual release happens. I'm probably the worst shill in the world right now, but once again, don't buy the $500 package just to play Alpha 1, unless you are genuinely interested in testing the game and not just playing the game, because the content available in Alpha is definitely not worth $500. Alpha 1 is just to help the development of the game. And that is pretty much it, guys. So I tested out Ashes of Creation, I had a ton of fun, and I'm really looking forward to the full release of the game itself. I'm hoping to play both Alpha 1, Alpha 2, and also the betas as well, and I'll be keeping a constant eye on the development of this game, as it looks really promising. I love how it looks, I love the core idea behind the game itself, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. So if you guys are looking forward to it as well, remember to click the link and sign up for it so you're ready to go when the game comes out. Leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below as well, subscribe for more content, and that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.